Somewhere in Thailand, there are 40,717 Buddhist temples. Almost every single one contains a stupa, a tower, a dome, a spire, built specifically to hold something inside it. Something small. Something that, according to Buddhist belief, is not a relic of the Buddha. It is the Buddha, still present, still here, waiting. The object is called a reliquary, and the question of what is actually inside it and how it got there is one of the strangest stories in the history of any religion on earth. In approximately 483 BC, a man named Siddhartha Gautama died under a tree in what is now northern India. He was 80 years old. He had spent the last 45 years of his life walking from village to village teaching. He owned almost nothing. He asked to be cremated. After the cremation, what remained was divided. 8 portions of bone and ash went to 8 kingdoms that had sent representatives to the funeral. 2 more kingdoms arrived late. They received ashes from the funeral pyre. A 10th portion went to the people of the town where he died. Each portion was placed in a container. Each container was placed inside a mound of earth or stone. Each mound became a place of pilgrimage. This is how it began. 10 reliquaries, 10 mounds, and a tradition that would eventually produce, by one count, 84,000 containers holding fragments of one man's body, spread across every country where Buddhism took root. In the 3rd century BC, an emperor named Ashoka came to power in India. He had conquered most of the subcontinent through warfare of extraordinary brutality. Then, according to the accounts that survive, he looked at what he had done. At the bodies, the burned villages, the grieving families, and converted to Buddhism. He spent the rest of his life trying to make amends. Part of that effort involved the relics. Ashoka ordered the original 10 burial mounds opened. The relics were collected, divided again. He made a vow. He would build 84,000 stupas across his empire, one for each teaching of the Buddha, and place a fragment of the Buddha's remains in each one. We don't know how he did it mathematically. The body of one man, divided 84,000 ways, produces fragments almost too small to see. Some historians believe the division became symbolic, that what was placed in each stupa was not bone at all, but something that had touched the relics, or been near them, or been blessed by their proximity. Others believe the number 84,000 was never meant to be literal, that it simply meant everywhere, that the point was not the fragment, the point was the intention. A reliquary is, on its surface, a container. In Thailand, the most sacred ones are made of gold. They are small enough to hold in one hand. They are placed inside larger containers, which are placed inside larger containers still, sometimes 9 layers deep, each one more precious than the last, like a set of golden matryoshka dolls, each one protecting something smaller and more sacred at its center. The outermost layer might be a temple, the next a stupa, the next a locked chamber, the next a sealed stone box, the next a bronze casket, the next a silver reliquary, the next a gold one. At the center, something the size of a fingernail or smaller. In May 2025, workers installing drainage beneath a temple in northeastern Thailand uncovered a clay vessel buried more than a meter underground. Inside were 33 objects: gold rings, silver earrings, bronze ornaments, and 2 embossed plaques showing the Buddha in a gesture of teaching. The objects were 1,300 years old. They had been placed there, sealed and forgotten. Or perhaps not forgotten, but simply left, trusted to the earth. The archaeologists who found them described the discovery as extraordinary. But extraordinary was perhaps not quite the right word. The right word might have been expected. Because the earth beneath Buddhist temples in Thailand is full of things like this. Placed there carefully, left there deliberately, waiting. Here is what makes the Buddhist reliquary different from every other kind of sacred container in the world. In most religious traditions, a relic is a memento, a reminder, an object that connects the living to someone who is gone. The person is gone, the object remains. In Buddhism, the relic is not a reminder of the Buddha, it is the Buddha. Not metaphorically, literally. The relics are described in the texts as his living presence, infused with all of his marvelous qualities. To be near a relic is to be near the Buddha himself. To venerate a reliquary is to venerate not an object but a person who is somehow still present inside a fragment of calcified bone no larger than a grain of rice. This changes what a reliquary is. It is not a container, it is a residence. Because the relics were the Buddha, not represented him, but were him. They became extraordinarily powerful, not just spiritually, politically. Kingdoms went to war over relics. A tooth of the Buddha, housed today in Kandy, Sri Lanka, has been the subject of wars, theft attempts, and diplomatic negotiations for over 1,000 years. Whoever held the tooth, it was believed, held the right to rule. The tooth was not a symbol of legitimacy, it was legitimacy itself. In Thailand, the relics sent by the Indian government were received by King Rama V, one of the most powerful monarchs of the 19th century, and a man-made mountain was constructed at a temple in Bangkok specifically to house them. Not a shelf, not a cabinet, a mountain. In 2025, India loaned a set of Buddha relics to Thailand for a religious ceremony. The loan was treated as a diplomatic event of the highest order. Prime Minister Modi attended personally. A fragment of bone, the size of a fingernail, requiring the presence of 2 heads of state. But here is what the texts say will happen at the end. There will come a time, according to Buddhist eschatology, when the teachings of the Buddha fade from the world, when people no longer remember what he said, no longer practice what he taught, when the reliquaries are forgotten and the stupas crumble. At that moment, and not before, the relics will act. Every fragment from every stupa, from every temple, from every golden container nested inside every other golden container will break free. They will travel across oceans and mountains and centuries of forgetting. They will find each other. They will gather at the tree in Bodh Gaya where the Buddha first attained enlightenment. And there they will reassemble into a body, seated cross-legged, glowing. The gods will come to pay their respects one last time, and then the body will ignite. It will burn with a light that illuminates 10,000 worlds, and then it will be gone. This is called the final nirvana of the relics. Until that moment, which has not yet come, every reliquary in every temple in every country where Buddhism exists is understood to be temporary. A waiting room, a place where something immeasurably precious is being kept carefully against the day when it will no longer need to be kept at all. The container is not the point. The container never was. What is kept inside it, that is everything. That is the only thing that is kept.